Okay, so it's going to be kind of similar from before as well, but as usual, kind of check your surroundings. Make sure you have enough space, nothing you can trip on or slip on. So we're still going to do the warm up first, okay, kind of moving the joints and then also getting heart rates a little bit faster. Okay, so we're just still going to start off just maybe marching on the spots a little bit, moving your arms back and forth. Okay, see if you can, if you're very stiff, see if you can just shake out everything again a little bit first. Okay, and we're just going to start from the top into the bottom. Okay, so we're just going to tuck our chin in a little bit. Okay, and then looking up slightly. Okay, and just going to go back and forth for a couple of times. Okay, and let's go side to side a little bit. Okay, so we're just going to turn looking left and right. Okay, see if you can swing from the shoulders. And if you prefer sitting exercise, you can do the same thing, just kind of march on the chair. Okay, but do the same thing there with the head and neck. Okay, let's go into the rest of the spine. So let's kind of just look down slightly, slouch a little bit. Okay, as you breathe in, open the chest up, pulling your arms back, opening your fingers up. Okay, and just repeat. Try to avoid the squeaky part of the floor. And kind of breathing out, relaxing, flex the spine and round the spine. Okay, and breathing in. Okay, let's try to rotate our body. So let's keep marching if we can. Touch the opposite hips. Okay, let's exaggerate a little bit. See if you can bring the knees a little bit higher, touching the opposite knee. Okay, see if you can kind of almost reach towards your ankles a little bit. So a little bit of balance. Okay, you don't have to necessarily touch it, okay, but just trying to reach or bring your leg a little bit higher up. Okay, even more, see if you can point your elbows towards your opposite knee. Okay, so once again, you don't have to touch, okay, but try to see if you can get them a little bit closer. Maybe just point them together. Good. Okay, now let's go to the shoulders a little bit more again. So we're going to bring the elbows a little bit closer together. You can kind of breathe out. Okay, as you breathe in, okay, squeezing the shoulders back. See if you can point your fingers back as well. Feeling the muscles in the back of the shoulders. Okay, breathing out. Okay, and breathing in. Okay, let's do about 5 times. Okay, number 3. Okay, and breathing in. Okay, 4. Okay, open the fingers up. Okay, and one last time. 5. Okay, and shaking everything out a little bit. Okay, let's do the opposite way around. So just hands behind the back. Okay, deep breath in, pulling the shoulders back. If you have a bypass, just be a little careful of this one. Okay, just go by how it feels. So if it's kind of a red light, yellow light, green light. So if it might feel a little bit tight, that's okay. If it's painful, back off. Okay, if they don't feel anything, you can try to go a little bit further back. Press a little bit harder. Your hands into your back. Good. Okay, and now let's try reaching back upwards. Okay, so we're going to reach up. You can think of reaching down one hand, reaching up the other side. And I feel a little bit of stretch on the side. Okay, and same thing on the other side. Okay, once again, keep moving the legs if you feel comfortable. Okay, let's do about 3 times per side. Okay, so this is the second time for both sides. Okay, and one last time for both. Okay, see if you can reach a little further. Okay. Okay, and let's move the entire arm. So I'm going to breathe in, kind of bring arms up. Breathing out, let's bring your shoulders a little further back. Okay, let's do about 3 times. Okay, breathing in. Okay, reach up to the ceiling. Okay, breathing out. See if you can reach back a little bit more. Okay, one last time. Deep breath in. Okay, lengthen the spine. Okay, and shake it out. Okay, let's imagine keeping a ball between your elbows and the ribs. Okay, and you're just going to circle, okay, while keeping the ball there. Okay, so rotating from in to out, I guess, or upwards. Okay, so you can do the opposite direction now. Okay, it's the same thing, just the opposite direction. Okay, and then the wrist. Okay, a couple of times each direction. Try to draw as big of a circle as you can. Okay, open and close the hands. Okay, see if you can put your hands together. Really try to separate the fingers while keeping the palm together. Okay, feeling the muscles in the back of the hands. Okay, and then just make the cat claws. Okay, side to side. Oh, I need to plug my laptop in. Just give me a second. Okay, so now let's try to get our heart rate a little bit higher. Okay, so we're going to go into, let's say, about 10 minutes of just try to get a heart rate up. Okay, so like Carl mentioned, just go by how it feels. If you know your target heart rate and you can check it, you can also go there as well. Okay, so let's try to go just a little bit faster than before. Okay, so you can either lift the knees a little bit fast, high up, or you can just increase your pace. Okay, so try to keep the shoulders relaxed, get your body nice and tall. Okay, let's just go forward and back. Okay, so keeping it simple, just take a couple of steps forward, a couple of back. Okay, let's kind of always check the surroundings first. Okay, but we're just increasing the pace a little bit. Okay, let's go side to side. Okay, just take a couple of steps one way. Okay, and a couple of steps the other way. Okay, and feel free to once again increase your pace, increase your heart rate if you want to. Okay, so now let's go diagonal. Okay, so just stepping a little bit off to the side. Okay, and then maybe backwards the other way. Okay, and once again, when you feel comfortable, you can almost go into a light jog if that's comfortable for you. Okay, but always trust how you feel. Okay, always do the talk test. So you should be kind of like what I'm doing, kind of be able to talk while kind of doing exercise. That's a good mark to see if you're working kind of hard enough or not hard enough. I'm probably not working hard enough because I'm just talking continuously. So we want to be able to say a short sentence, okay, but not like a long one or sing a whole song. Okay, so now let's try to do the same thing as we did in warm-up. We're just going to tap our knees. Okay, so just a little bit higher up than before. So once again, you don't necessarily have to touch, okay, but try to see if you can get them a little bit closer together. Okay, at any point, if you feel like you need a break, okay, feel free to slow down. Don't stop and sit down immediately. Just slow down, go into a march. That's better for your heart. Less likely to get dizzy. Okay, and that's how I try to reach up a little bit. Okay, so hands just a little bit higher than before. Okay, it doesn't have to be very high. Okay, just higher than before. Okay, now let's try to get our legs a little high up. Okay, so just try to shift side to side a little bit, kicking a heel up. If you want to, you can see if you can get your fingers and your heel to be a little bit closer together. Okay, for any movement that you don't feel comfortable with, just feel free to stop or just march on the spot. Okay, and just back to march for now. Okay, so let's just try to move our arms a little bit. So let's circle our arms to the side while we're marching. Okay, now can we imagine we're flapping our wings? Okay, so we're flapping our wings on the side. Okay, just a little faster than before. Okay, you might feel your body tense up a little bit. Okay, and slowing back down a little bit. Okay, we're gonna do the same thing, just in different directions. Okay, so slightly higher than before. Okay, it doesn't have to be very high. Usually more comfortable if it's a little bit lower. Okay, and once again, you're just trying to flap up and down a little bit. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, coming back down. Okay, and we're always asking ourselves, how hard am I working? Okay, if you know your heart rate, am I at the right range? Okay, if it's too much or too low, adjust. Okay, so if you feel like you're very out of breath, slow down a little bit. Okay, but once again, don't just sit down immediately. Okay, if you feel like it's very easy, see if you can go a little faster. Okay, so always keep an eye out how you're feeling. Okay, so now let's do the same thing forward now. Okay, so kind of just circle in front a little bit almost, okay, while keeping marching if you're able to. If not, that's okay. Okay, and once again, let's try to kind of flap our wings in front. Okay, let's aim for 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, and coming back down. Okay, let's move the lower body a little bit. Okay, so we're just going to slow down our pace a little bit, but we're just going to step side to side. Okay, see if we can open up a little bit. Okay, so almost like a side to side, maybe jumping jack a little bit. Okay, but opening up and coming back in. Okay, that can be small steps. Okay, it can be bigger steps. You can go into a big lunge if your knees can take it. Okay, if you know your knees are okay, you can also do the smaller step as well. Okay, let's go into kind of a backwards toe tap. Okay, so you're just going to reach backwards. Okay, almost imagine you're trying to grab something almost from your knee. Okay, while kicking one leg back. Okay, we're about 5 minutes into the cardio. Everyone's feeling okay? Okay, give me a thumbs up if you want. If you feel anything, talk to Ryan or Kyle. Okay, now let's try to bring the knee up again. Okay, maybe this time a little bit higher up than before even. Okay, if your balance is okay. If you need to, just do one side at a time. Okay, while holding onto the chair. Okay, that would be safer if you know your balance is not very, very good. Okay, so once again, completely up to you. Okay, just make sure you're safe. Okay, now let's go into almost like a mini lunge. Okay, so we're just, mini squat. We're just going to reach down and up. Okay, so you're just going to push it back a little bit. Okay, and then reach up maybe just to forehead level or just about head level. Okay, so let's aim for about 10 seconds of this. Let's say we're 5 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so that one might be a little harder. Okay, so once again, if you feel like you're getting a little tired, maybe slow down a little bit, just go into a march. Okay, you can even just kind of rock side to side or pump your heels. Okay, but just keep moving and not just stop like suddenly. Okay, so now let's reach the hands forward a little bit more. Okay, so we're just reaching forward. See if you can open the fingers as you're reaching forward. Okay, reach out to the side. Okay, back forward. Okay, maybe a little bit higher up. Okay, how high is completely up to you. Okay, let's kind of do a similar thing to legs. Okay, see if you can widen your stance a little bit as you march. Okay, and coming back in. Okay, and once again, a little bit wider. Okay, and back to the middle. Okay, 2 more minutes. Then we would have done 10 minutes of cardio. Okay, so a little wider again and back in. Okay, so now let's march up on our tippy toes a little bit. So once again, grab some support if you need to. Okay, so I'm just going on our tippy toes. Okay, while still marching. Okay, and do the opposite. Let's go on to our heels a little bit. Okay, you might want to lean forward slightly. Okay, and just switch back and forth. Okay, so going onto our toes Okay, and the heels, toes, heels. Okay, and coming back. Okay, we're just going to gradually slow down. Okay, so last minute we're just going to go back into more of a maybe shoulder joint stuff. Okay, so just keep marching. Okay, while kind of rolling your shoulders. Okay, and gradually slow down how fast you're moving your legs. Okay, shake everything out. Okay, so why don't we just do some finger stuff while we're slowing down a little bit. Okay, so just try to draw circles with our fingers. Okay, so just go for each finger. Okay, and once again, just slow down the legs a little bit. Okay, but we're still moving. Okay, I'm going on to my ring finger. Okay, still circling. Okay, and then the pinky. Okay, and just move all the fingers a little bit. Okay, and just going into almost just rocking side to side a little bit. Okay, try to slow down our breathing. Okay, take a couple of breaths in. Okay, so big breath in. Try to breathe into a diaphragm or belly area. Okay, and even slow down even more. Okay, we just take one more deep breath in. Okay, so that was our cardio part. Okay, let's take a little bit of break first. Maybe a minute break. Okay, maybe grab some water if you want to or need to. Okay, we always when you sweat, we do recommend you drink some water. Okay, so if you have bands or dumbbells, you can grab this right now. We're just going to go into the strengthening part. Okay, but we're going to come back maybe in a minute. Okay, so at this point, if you have any questions or concerns, feel free to let us know. Okay, if you still feel like you're winded, if you feel like heart rate is very high, continue moving a little bit. Okay, so once again, don't just plop down and sit down suddenly. Okay, so I'm just going to find my, oh, there it is, my resistance band. Okay, we're also going to use a chair for the first one. Okay, so you can have a sturdy chair around, nothing on wheels. So probably go out a little bit. Okay, so we're going to go into the strengthening part. We're going to do kind of a core stuff, upper body, lower body, and one balance. And we're probably going to repeat it maybe, let's see what time it is. Okay, we have time actually. So maybe at least 2 times. Okay, and we have more time. Okay, so let's also take a little break as well. Okay, so you probably seen this one before, but we're going to do the lean back and also the putting weights on the feet. So we're going to just sit a little bit closer to the edge of the chair so we have some room behind us. Okay, so first step, check our posture, see if you can get our heart up a little bit higher to the ceiling. Okay, and we're trying to keep this. Okay, easy is just to have the hands on the chair. Harder will be to have our hands across our chest. Okay, so you can adjust. Okay, so you're just gonna lean back a little bit until you feel like your muscles are tensing up here. I'm not kind of sitting on it, leaning back on the chair. Okay, still hovering on top. Okay, and I'm just going to rock forward and I'm just going to put a little more weight on the feet. So almost imagine I'm trying to get up. So a little bit of tension in the legs. Okay, we're just going to go back and forth. Okay, so I'm going to go back. 1, 2. Okay, and then forward. 3, 4. Okay, so I keep the chest up while we're doing so. Okay, so 2, 2. Make sure you're still breathing at the same time. Okay, and 3, 4. 3, 2. Okay, pause for half a second. 3, 4. pause here, keep your chest up here as well. So kind of back and also the front. Okay, so 4, 2, 3, 4. 5, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so feel a little bit of weight in your legs as well. 6, 2, and the further back you go, the harder it becomes. 3, 4. Okay, let's just try to keep your spine nice and long. 7, 2, 3, 4. 8, 2, 3, 4. 9, 2, 3, 4. 10, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so what we need to ask ourselves is how many more times can I do this? Okay, we're aiming for, let's say, kind of 3 to 5 more most of the time. Okay, if you feel like you can do 10, probably you need a little bit of weight to this. Okay, I'm just going to aim for about 13 for myself. Okay, and in between, take deep breaths in and out. Okay, so you probably heard me say this before, but be tense when you need to be tense. Relax when we don't need to be, when we're not working. Okay, so it's not like we cannot work hard, but we need to be relaxed when we don't need to be. Okay, so a couple of deep breaths in and out. Okay, so we're gonna slowly stand up, and we're just gonna grab a band. You can also do the sitting down, but I'm just gonna show the standing version first. Okay, you've probably seen me do this as well, but we're gonna do the bent over row. Okay, so we're bending over. So say like when we did in a chair, we want our spine to be kind of nice and long. Okay, so this will be short, this will be longer. Okay, and we're just gonna do a row, which is like a pull. Okay, so when you step on the band with one of the legs or both legs, okay, keep our spine nice and long. Okay, I should probably turn this way so you can see the band. Okay, and you're just gonna squeeze your elbows back, squeeze your shoulders back, pause a little bit at the top, okay, and then coming back down. Okay, so we're still gonna do a 4 counts. Okay, so it'll be 2 seconds up, 2 seconds down. Okay, so once again, check your posture first. Okay, and we 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. Okay, if you don't feel comfortable doing this, you can also do a sitting down. Okay, and you can just kind of pull backwards like this. Okay, so whatever feels comfortable for you. Okay, so 3, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna just go. Okay, so keep going. 4, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so one of the two. Okay, so I'm going to go back to standing for myself. 5, 2, 3, 4, 6, 2, 3, 4, 7, 2, 3, 4. Your back might be getting a little tight from this. 8, 2, 3, 4, 9, 2, 3, 4, 10, 2, 3, 4. So once again, ask yourself, how many more times can I do this? Okay, so the answer hopefully is anywhere from like 3 to 5 more left. Okay, that's when we know we're kind of working hard enough, okay, but not to the extreme. Okay, so once again for myself, I'm just gonna aim for about 30. Okay, and once again, relax in between. Take a couple of deep breaths in and out. Okay, walk around a little bit if you want to. Okay. Okay, so that will be the upper body row. Okay, let's just do the lower body. Let's keep it simple. Let's just do what we call hip abduction, so kicking the leg out to the side. Okay, so kind of standing maybe with a little bit of support on one side. Okay, and you're just going to kick the leg up. Okay, maybe a little bit diagonally backwards. Okay, feel a little bit of squeeze in the hips. Okay, and coming back down. Okay, if you want to have a little bit of balance challenge, don't hold on as tightly on the hands. Maybe just hover it, or maybe just lightly touch your fingertips. Okay, so be just kicking out and hold. Okay, and back down. Okay, so let's also 4 counts of 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, and you can hover, stand on one leg if you want to. Okay, 5, 2, 3, 4. The standing leg is the one that's working a little harder. 6, 2, 3, 4, 7, 2, 3, 4, 8, 2, 3, 4, 9, 2, 3, 4. So we're only about doing 10 probably at most for most people. 10, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so the standing leg, the non-moving leg, is the one that's working a little bit harder. Okay, and once again, relax in between. When you feel ready, you can switch over to the other side. Okay, but once again, check your posture, setting nice and tall. You don't necessarily have to lift it very high, okay, but you should be concentrating on which muscle am I engaging. Okay, do I feel kind of the side of my hips, my butt working? Okay, so let's do 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 6, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so the second round probably a little bit harder. 2, 3, 4, 8, 2, 3, 4, 9, 2, 3, 4, 10, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and relaxing for a second. So probably a little bit harder. Okay, and then last kind of exercise will be a little bit balance. Okay, so we're just going to be working on still single leg balance. Okay, so once again, have as many supports you need to, maybe even chair on both sides, might be a little safer. Okay, so we're just going to go, we're going to go into almost like a reach. Okay, so you're just going to take a step forward. So I'm going to the side. So imagine you had to reach something high up top. Okay, you're just going to reach forward and you're going to go up a little bit on your tippy toes. Okay, and then coming back down. Okay, so you're taking a step forward, reaching upwards. Okay, and see if you can go on your toes. Okay, see if you can maintain your balance. Okay, maybe use less of your hands. Okay, so we're going to take a step forward and reach, kind of look where you want to go, maybe pause a little bit. Okay, and coming back down and back. Okay, so number 2. Okay, see if you can pause, go on your tippy toes on both sides. Okay, 3. Okay, 4, if you want to make it even more challenging, see if you can maybe just lift the back leg up a little bit, but that might be a little more challenging. Okay, so just be careful if you do decide to go up even higher or lift the back leg up a little bit. Okay, 5. Okay, your lower leg, the calves may be feeling a little tight as well. 6. Okay, see if you can reach in slightly different directions. So maybe not come straight in front, maybe a little off to the side. Okay, don't let your body follow where you're looking. Okay, so even regardless of where we're reaching, okay, we're maintaining that balance. Okay, so let's just do about 8 per side, okay, and switch wherever the leg is stepping forward with. Okay, so once again, taking a step forward and reaching up. Okay, and once again, see if you can use less of your hands. Okay, maybe pause a little bit at the top for a little longer. Okay, look in different directions, reach in slightly different directions. Okay, so it could be left or right. Or you can even think of reaching more forward. Okay, so that one might be a little bit of a different challenge as well. Okay, so balance is just moving in different ways without falling over very much. Okay, so we have to practice doing different movements. Okay, so let's pause for a second. Okay, so once again, grab some water, take a little bit of a break. Okay, and we're going to repeat these 4 exercises one more time. Okay, so walk around a little bit. Okay, if you feel like 1 time is enough, if it's something very new to you, okay, maybe just take a break or do even less. Okay, we don't always have to do the same number every time. Okay, but if you're ready, we're just going to go back to the sitting position first. Okay, if it was easy for you before, you can add a little bit of weight, so you can hold maybe some cans in front or some like a book, some sort of weights if you want to, or a dumbbell. Okay, but the first one is just going to be leaning forward, leaning back, pausing. Okay, and leaning forward and putting weights on our feet and pausing as well. But the goal is not to run our back. The goal is to keep our back nice and long in front and also in the back. Okay, so just give everyone a second to get ready. Okay, and once again, you probably have to sit maybe just a little bit further in front. Okay, I'm going to add just a little bit of weight. Okay, so I'm going to be leaning back, 1, 2, pausing a little bit, okay, and then rocking forward onto my feet, keeping my back nice and long, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. 3, 2. Okay, make sure you're still breathing in and out. 3, 4. Even though you feel your back muscles tensing up or your ab muscles tightening up. 4, 2. Excuse me. 3, 4. 5, 2, 3, 4. 6, 2, 3, 4. 7, 2, 3, 4. 8, 2, 3, 4. 9, 2, 3, 4. Okay, last time. 10, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so kind of lightly engaging our down muscles when we're going leaning back. Okay, lightly engaging our back muscles when we're leaning forward. Okay, and shake it out. Okay, and we're just going to slowly stand up. Pause as long as you need to make sure you don't feel dizzy first. Okay, move your feet a little bit. That can help you keep our blood pressure from suddenly dropping from when we stand up suddenly. Okay, so just pause for a second. Okay, and the next one is just to be the rowing exercise. Okay, so once again, you can do it standing up or you can do it sitting down. Okay, the goal is still to squeeze the elbows back, squeeze the shoulders back. Okay, so if you're doing standing, you need to be kind of hinging or bending over. Okay, and you're just going to be stuck on the band with either one foot or both feet. Okay, but the goal once again, longer spine. Okay, and once again, doing 2 seconds up, 2 seconds down. Okay, so it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so once adjust how short the band is. If you want to make it a little harder, you can grab a little bit closer to the center of the band, I guess. Go and make it longer, shorter, pretty much. Okay, so I think we're at, let's say we're 5, 2, 3, 4, 6, 2, 3, 4, 7, 2, 3, 4, 8, 2, 3, 4, 9, 2, 3, 4, 10, 2, 3, 4. Okay, once again, slowly coming back out. Anytime you change the position in your head, move your legs a little bit, hold on to something. Okay, sometimes that can make people feel dizzy. Okay, so just pause in between. Okay, until kind of our blood pressure stabilize, our ears stabilize. Okay, and then the third one. So it's the hip abduction. Okay, so once again, maybe hold on to a chair on one side. Okay, and you're just going to be standing tall, kicking the leg kind of slightly out to the side, slightly to the back. Okay, and you're kind of pausing a little bit at the top, feeling a little bit of a squeeze in the side of your hips. Okay, and coming back down. If you want to work on your balance at the same time, maybe don't put your leg down, so you're standing on one leg throughout. Okay, so let's aim for about 8 per side. Okay, so it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4. So both sides might be feeling a little tight by now. 5, 2, 3, 4. So once again, you don't have to do 8. Okay, just ask yourself how many more times do I think I can do this? Okay, aim for kind of 3 to 5 left. Okay, so if you get a 7, you feel like I can only do just at most 2 more. Okay, so then stop then, definitely. Okay, so I feel like maybe 3 to 5 left. So I'm going to stop. Okay, pause in between. Couple of deep breaths in and out. Okay, when you feel like you can give your full effort, then continue. So don't rush the workout. Okay, once again, standing tall first. Okay, use as much support as you need to. Okay, but only as much as you need. Okay, so if you feel like you can manage with lightly touching, that's good. If you feel like I need to scrap a little more, that's okay as well. Okay, but the goal is just to give ourselves a little bit of a challenge, the balance while we're engaging our hip muscles. Okay, so 2, 2, 3, 4. 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4. You can also just tap the floor if you want to. That can make it a little easier for balance. Okay, I think we're at 7. I'm bad at counting. Yes, you might be able to tell by now. 3, 4, 8, 2, 3, 4. So technically, doesn't matter as much what number we're at. The goal is just to have challenge ourselves a little bit. So ask yourself, how many more times can I do this movement? Okay, and aim for about 3 to 5 left in the tank. Okay, and we're just going to go into the balance next. Okay, so that's the going on our toes and reaching for that cookie jar. Okay, so we're taking a step forward and just going up on our toes a little bit. Okay, and then coming back down. Okay, so 2. Good. Okay, once again, you can pause a little bit at the top for a little longer. Maybe look left and right a little bit while maintaining that balance. Okay, I think we're at 4. Forgive me if it is not. 5. Okay, even reach up. Okay, wipe that window a little few times while holding on. Okay, coming back down. 6. Okay, say hi to your friends in the distance. Okay, while maintaining the balance. Okay, maybe one last time. 8. Okay, maybe give yourself a big wave while maintaining the balance. Okay, and you can do it more if you want to, do less. Okay, but switch sides when you're ready. Okay, so same thing. So still Shift your weight forward, up onto your toes, reaching up. Wiggle your fingers a little bit. Okay, 2. Okay, make it a little difficult. You can also play around with the vision, so you can maybe close one eye while you're doing this. Okay, that can make it a little bit more challenging. Okay, so just kind of explore, think of it as almost playing around a little bit, but in a safe place. So probably grab more chairs around the knee. Once again, you can change where you're reaching, so it could be just more forward. Okay, it could be even instead of up, you can go reach a little lower as well. Okay, let's do 2 more times. Okay, and last time. Okay, so probably a little bit of a movement in the efforts in the calves as well. Okay, so I think we still have time, but I think today when we call it a little shorter, we're just going to go into the stretch afterwards. Okay, so let's take a seat and we'll just do kind of a stretch for different muscles. Okay, so simplest, starting with the shoulders. Okay, so that's just a crossbody stretch. So reach across, reach underneath the elbows. Okay, or you can also grab the wrist as well. Okay, but you can pull your arm into your body a little bit more. Okay, and let's aim for, let's say, about 15 seconds or so. Or you can count your breath. So you just take maybe 3 to 5 big breaths in and out. Okay, and you go just to slow down your breathing a little bit. It's slowly coming back out. And switch sides whenever you're ready. Okay, once again, you can count the seconds or you can count your breaths. And slowly coming back out. Okay, let's stretch the front a little bit. For this one, if you did have a bypass, just be a little bit careful. Okay, but you can grab just a little bit further behind you, a little bit higher if you're able to, or if the chair allows for it. Okay, and you're just going to just lean forward, kind of puffing your chest out, pulling your shoulders back. You probably feel a little bit of stretch in the chest, maybe a little bit in the front of the upper arm. Okay, if not, you can just lean a little bit more forward. Okay, slowly coming out. Okay, something similar, but we're just going to put our hands behind the back. You can go a little bit higher if you're able to. Okay, and same idea. You're just going to puff your chest out, pulling your shoulders back a little bit, lightly pressing the hands into the back. Deep breaths in and out. And slowly coming out again. Okay, so next one, a little more at the back. Be a little careful with this one, okay? But you're just going to lean forward. You can almost try to reach, touch your fingers together underneath your arms. And you're just going to take a couple of deep breaths in and out. Okay, if you don't feel comfortable, you can also just have your hands, your elbows on top of your knees. That probably feels safer. Okay, but your goal is to take a couple of breaths and imagine trying to breathe into your back, your low back. Okay, so as you take a breath in, you almost feel like your back is kind of rising up a little bit. Maybe you feel a little bit of a stretch. So imagine you have a balloon in your back and you're trying to get the air into that balloon. Okay, so for this one, just very slowly come back. Just because we're changing the head position, that can make some people feel a little dizzy. So pause as long as you need to. Once again, you can pop your heels a little bit. Sometimes that can help. Okay, so next one, let's do the prayer stretch. So palms together, bring your wrist a little lower. Okay, try to keep all your fingers together, keep your palms together. Feel a little bit of stretch in the, I guess, inside of your wrist. And once again, pay attention to where your breath is going. Okay, see if you can get the air closer to your belly area. Okay, and we're going to do the opposite. Okay, so you grab the knuckles with the other hand, and you're just going to pull the wrist kind of inwards, I guess. Okay, and you're just going to straighten out the arm until you feel stretch on the outside of the forearm. Okay, and once again, see if you can relax where you don't need to be tense. A lot of times we're tense in the shoulders when we don't need to be. Okay, and just switch whenever you feel like it. Okay, so once again, grab the knuckles. Okay, pull it kind of inwards. Okay, and then kind of straighten out the elbows. Okay, keep your shoulders relaxed. Okay, slowly coming out, shake things out if you need to. Okay, let's stretch the top of the shoulders. Okay, so this is the one where you grab out of the bottom of the chair, or if your wrists are okay, you can sit on your hands with your fingers kind of pointing inwards. Okay, whatever is comfortable for you. Okay, so I'm just going to be grabbing the chair. Okay, you're going to lean away from that side. So you're pulling your shoulders down and trying to lean so that your ears get away from the shoulders until you feel a stretch on the top of the shoulders, side of the neck. Okay, if you want to, you can use the other hand, your free hand, to just apply slight pressure, not too hard. Okay, you can look around to see where you feel the most tense or most tight. Okay, and maybe spend a little bit more time. Okay, so I find it, for myself, I feel it's a little more tight when I look down slightly. Okay, sometimes you might feel the tension all the way up to the top of the head. Okay, because our body is, even though we have different muscles, they're actually kind of connected. Okay, anytime we're changing head positions, pause in between. Only when you feel that you're completely okay, then switch to the other side. Okay, once again, slowly come back. Pause as long as you need to. Okay, let's stretch the hips. You're gonna cross the leg over. If you can't, grab your pants at the bottom of your pants. Okay, and you're just gonna kind of almost hug the knee. Okay, and trying to get the knee closer to your opposite shoulder. So it's a little bit of a turn in the trunk as well. You just feel a stretch on the side of the butt. Maybe some people feel all the way up to the side of the leg. Okay, be careful that you're not slouching too much. Okay, so kind of sit a little bit taller. Okay, switch whenever you're ready. Okay, once again, you're trying to get the knee closer to the opposite shoulder. But you don't, be careful that you're not slouching and rounding to get it closer. Okay, still relatively tall. Okay, slowly coming back. Okay, let's just do the back, just the back of the leg, so the hamstrings. So sit a little closer to the edge of the chair until you can have your heel comfortably on the floor. Okay, and you can hold on the chair. You can also just stabilize yourself on your legs if you want. Okay, and you're just gonna pull your belly button closer. You can tuck your chin in a little bit. Okay, slight round in the back is okay. Okay, just don't round too much. Okay, so you're pulling your belly button forward. Still trying to take big, slow breaths in and out. Same thing when we change the head position, pause in between. When you feel okay, then switch to the other leg. Slowly coming out. Okay, so the next two, we are going to be standing up. Okay, so just slowly make your way up. Once again, pause as long as you need to. Move your legs a little bit. Okay, sometimes even squeezing your hands can help. Just give it a second. Okay, I'm going to stretch the front of the hips. So this one, probably you're familiar with on other videos as well. Okay, but one leg forward, one leg back. Get your legs a little bit wider apart for balance. Okay, the back heel, if you can, see if you can get a little bit closer to the floor, and you probably feel a little bit of stretch behind. And front of your pants, front of your belt. Okay, see if you can lift up the front of your belt a little bit. Okay, so imagine your pelvis like a bowl of water. Don't pour the water out forward. Okay, see if you can flatten the bowl a little bit. Okay, and you should feel a little bit of stretch in the front of the upper leg. Okay, if you don't feel anything, then kind of push the hips a little bit more forward. Okay, once again, still only tense up where you need to. Other areas, see if you can keep it nice and relaxed. Okay, keep your spine nice and tall. Slowly coming back out. Okay, when you're ready, switch over to the other side. Okay, so once again, see if you can point your pelvis forward. Okay, so you're not twisted in the back. Your toes, or both of your toes should be kind of pointing forward. Back heel if you can, get a little bit closer to the floor. Okay, and once again, don't pour water out from the front of the pelvis. See if you can bring your belt up a little bit. Okay, so your pelvis is kind of flat. Okay, and move your hips a little forward if you need to, just to feel that stretch. Okay, once again, notice where you're tensing up. Okay, and if you don't need to be tense in that area, see if you can relax it. A lot of times our kind of emotions show up in our bodies. Okay, but you can also do the opposite. If you can relax the body, that tends to help us relax mentally or emotionally as well. Okay, and I'm just going to slowly come back out. Okay, last one, just a little bit more the calves. Okay, so this one you can either go up against like a wall, so something to prop your toes up. I like to use my yoga block, okay, but use anything you have access to. Okay, so you can just go up against the wall and put your toes up. I like to just have a yoga block. If there's something you can, like a book or something like that, or even a dumbbell sometimes if it's sturdy. Okay, but I'm just gonna get my toes up. Okay, I'm just gonna shift my weight over my heels or shift my weight forward until I feel a stretch in the back of the calves, which is the lower leg. Once again, see if you can get yourself to relax in other areas, even though it may feel pretty tight. And using our breaths to help us. Okay, and just switch whenever you want to. Okay, and last little bit. Sorry, wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers a little bit. Okay, and for the last little bit, we're just going to go into a little bit of breathing exercises. Okay, so we can go back to sitting there. I'm just going to maybe zoom in a little bit with my camera. Okay, so we can kind of be in a relaxed position, maybe still not slouching though, so because it makes it hard to breathe. Okay, so still a bit taller. Okay, first thing, see if you can relax your shoulders a little bit. Okay, see if you can get your head on top of your shoulders. So sometimes we have a head kind of jutting forward. Okay, see if you can just get the head a little further back, just gently. Okay, and shoulders just a little bit wider. Okay, and just kind of pay attention to as you breathe in, what moves in your body. Okay, so you don't have to do anything so far. Just take a deep breath in and out. Okay, where do I feel the air going? This physically is to the lungs, but where do I feel the body moving? So is it my shoulder that's coming up? Okay, is it my belly expanding? Is it closer to my back? Okay, just pay a little bit more attention to that. Okay, once again, pay attention to where you're still holding tension. Okay, so see if you can relax certain areas, find a comfortable position. And then start to bring your awareness to your breath. Okay, so as you take a breath in, okay, what is that? Maybe the texture of the air. Okay, is it cold? Is it warm? Are you a little congested today? Okay, so for breathing exercise, we want you to take light, slow, and deep breaths. Okay, so let's take a look at the last one first. Okay, let's put our fingers kind of roughly where our side of the ribs are. Okay, and the other fingers just in front of our belly. Okay, maybe just a little bit higher up on to our belly button. Okay, so take a breath in, see if you can feel your fingers, bottom fingers moving out. As you take a breath in. As you breathe out, does the fingers sink in? Okay, now bring your attention to your thumbs now. As you take a breath in, can you feel your ribs kind of pushing out a little bit, making more room for the lungs to expand? Okay, and the opposite as you breathe out. Can you feel both of them moving at the same time? So your lungs or your ribs expanding forward and to the side. Okay, you can remove the hands and see if you can just continue that pattern. Okay, maybe you feel your back expanding a little bit as well. Now let's try to slow down our breathing a little bit. Okay, so we're going to take 3 seconds to breathe in. I'm going to pause for 1, breathe out for 3, and then pause for 1. Okay, so we're going to take a breath in. 1, 2, 3. Pause at the top of the breath. Breathing out for 3, 2, 1. Pause at the bottom of the breath. Okay, and in, 2, 3. Pause at 4. Breathing out for 3, 2, 1. Pause. In, 2, 3. Pause. Out. 3, 2, 1. Okay, and just continue for a little bit. Okay, now I want you to try to make your breath a little bit lighter as well. Okay, so imagine the hair in your nose just moving very gently as you breathe in. Okay, and as you breathe out, same thing. Just a gentle stream of air going back out. So light, slow, and deep breaths. Okay, and just slowly bring your awareness back to where you are. Okay, start moving your body a little bit. Okay, get your legs moving a little bit. Okay, we're just going to finish off with just a big breath in, moving the arms. Okay, so we're going to take a breath in, opening up the chest. Okay, as you breathe out, just come back down. If you want, you can bring your hands a little higher up. Okay, and if you can, maybe slowly come forward a little bit. You can stand up if you want to. Okay, but once again, move a little bit first so your blood pressure gets back out. Okay, and one last time, breathing in. Okay, so I think that's all the time we have for today. So thank you for coming. I hope that was maybe a little bit different than other videos you have seen, and I hope that was enjoyable. No problem. Okay, so I'm going to pass the time back to Wen and Kyle, I guess. Anything before the next class? Yes, so I can be here for like two months pretty much.